Morning tree lovers, thanks for looking in on the Eco Geeko channel. Well, it's another grey October morning, but a lovely time to be looking at this tree over my left shoulder. This is the coastal redwood, Sequoia sempervirens. It's one of my TreeO of redwoods. So this one is the coastal redwood, and what you should see is a very lovely, tall, slim red trunk. And when you push your finger into the bark, you'll find that the bark is quite soft, so the trunk doesn't flare out like the other two redwoods. So that's to help you identify. The other thing then to look at, it is evergreen, and so you've got these evergreen needles. They're a little bit like a yew tree, but perhaps a little bit sharper and not quite so dark as the yew tree that we would see. Now where the branchlets divide, you get this little brown node. You can see that there, and then the needles themselves are arranged in these two ranks, but around the sort of central part of the branches you will often get a second type of needle, just here where my fingers are, and actually that's a little bit more sharp, and actually a little bit like the giant redwood, which we'll look at in another video. So the other thing to see on the end of all the sprays of needles at the moment are these little male cones, which are going to release their pollen soon. And then from time to time you'll find quite a lot of them perhaps on the ground. You'll find a female cone. Now the female cone is a little bit bigger than the dawn redwood and a little bit smaller than the giant redwood, and it's arranged in a spiral. So if you twist that round, you should be able to follow a spiral pattern. So these trees were discovered by European settlers as they moved westwards to California in the middle Victorian era, and unfortunately so many were chopped down, but there are still some very, very tall ones there. The tallest at the moment is one called Hyperion, and it's said to be perhaps 700 or 800 years old and something like about 120 metres. In the UK, the oldest we can have go back to the Victorian era, when there was quite a craze for planting them. So this one behind me is perhaps 30 or 35 metres. So I hope you're able to find one somewhere in a park or a gardens or a golf course near you, and if we all reconvene in about 500 years time, then we'll find that ours perhaps will be about 3 or 4 times as tall as this one behind me at the moment. Well, don't forget to subscribe to the Eco Geeko, and see you for the giant redwood in the next video.